In early spring of 1992, a buddy of mine and I were out in Alaska. We had hiked through all of the Yukon along the Alcan from a town called Rancheria all the way up through Tok, Alaska, and down, headed out toward Kenai. So along the way, we had quite a few adventures since we spent our time hiking every day. We had these sea bags, these duffel bags on our back that probably weighed more than 80 pounds each, along with the sleeping bag and a couple of other essentials. For myself personally, I decided I was also going to keep two rolls of toilet paper and a pillow. My buddy mocked me several times. He thought the pillow was stupid, and he thought keeping toilet paper was also stupid. He said that you could find leaves. But after about a month and a half, he was begging me for some of the toilet paper, and I told him to go find some leaves. I remember every time that we had stopped along the way, I would rifle through my bag, and we sat there out, and it was cold. It was frigid. We weren't ill prepared. No food. We did have some shelter. He brought a tent, and I had an inflatable air mattress tent. But I'd go through my bag, lay out my possessions, and then have to rifle through and decide what I could keep and what I had to leave behind because of weight. We were hiking 20 to 30 miles every day all along the Alcan, and every ounce counts. So every time we stopped, I'd decide what I could do without. And there was a lot of my own personal possessions and a lot of stuff that I'd collected over the years. And I just had to lay my belongings along the road all the way up every day. And I kept getting leaner and more fit, and we were getting better at walking. So could carry more and more, but the irony is, early on when the journey was killing me, that's when I had to get rid of some of my heaviest burdens and some of my most valuable possessions. So, interesting how that works. I learned a lot about myself on that trip. I got to try porcupine when we were starving and needed a source of protein. By the way, porcupine's disgusting. It's gray and tastes like wood pulp. Don't do it. Plus, you wind up with quills. It's terrible. Wound up falling into a frozen river at that point, and I had to retrieve all our possessions, but my buddy had to retrieve the porcupine. He kind of got the short end of that stick, and he also caught a lot of quills. Obviously, the story is made up. Never happened. We did get to try some goose, some snow goose. I had brought a 22, and we were starving, and we were on the verge of dying and didn't really have any other choice at that point. And I was panicked, and I gave him the rifle, 22, and he started shooting, and all the birds were taking off in every direction. And he kept taking shots, and he kept missing, and I was getting increasingly frustrated and nervous and angry as I saw all our food flying away, and I hadn't eaten anything in a couple of days. And day 15 of just going on water and miner's lettuce and fiddlehead ferns. We were just dying. And I said, "What the hell? Did you forget your glasses?" And he turned to me slowly and he said, "Yes, I did." So I grabbed the rifle and I aimed at the first thing I could find and took a shot, and it came swimming to the shore. This was the first thing that I had ever killed. This goose, big giant goose, comes swimming to shore, and I had to hold it while he'd cut off the head. As this big 25 pound bird was thrashing around in my arms, and I'm bear hugging it, just trying to hang on. It was very difficult, and it was very difficult plucking the feathers off of it and putting it on a spit and getting the fire going. And there was still snow all around us, and we were freezing and hungry. That was a difficult one. Anyway, afterward, we had enough meat that we could dry it on the rocks and then keep it like jerky. Kept some in my bag, so it lasted us quite a while. Obviously, again, the whole thing's just made up.
What, my love?